The endpoint of a review and comment process in Acrobat will leave you with a PDF file that has a bunch of comments in it. The next step that you'll usually need to take is to apply those comments to the original authoring document or document set. And oftentimes that will require a team of people. It may not be just an individual. For that reason, Adobe Acrobat provides you a robust set of tools that you can use to manage those comments before you just start making your changes. To start this off, I'm going to open the Complete Proposal with Comments document. It's a file that I've provided for you in the Lesson 12 folder of the Part 1 folder that you installed onto your hard drive with the project files. I'll double-click on it to open it, and you can see that I have some comments here. It's not clear exactly who wrote them, but that's what we're going to use the tools in this lesson to help us understand. To access those tools, let's first open up the Comments panel, and you can do that by clicking this little icon here in the lower left-hand corner. That opens up the Comments panel, and I can resize it upwards if I want to, because oftentimes viewing these comments in context doesn't require enough detail that you don't want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a particular comment, and you can see that when I do so, it highlights itself in the document. And really all I need to do is note kind of where it is and sort of generally what the thing is applying to. So in this case, Edna Jones is asking me if this is the right color. It's probably that logo she means. I can also see that Edna Jones has another comment, and I can select that. Mike Sams has one, so I can look through the comments very, very quickly to get an overall feel for the document. Notice also that they're sorted. In this case, they're sorted by page. And it might be difficult to see how many pages contain comments, but I can select Collapse All, and what that does is it quickly just shows me, in this case, because I have it sorted by page, how many pages have comments. If I'm interested to know what might be on page 5, I can go ahead and click this and see that Edna Jones has made a comment on page 5. When I click that comment here, Acrobat will jump me to that page so I can very quickly see that comment in context. There are a number of other buttons across the top of this panel that allow me to work with comments, and we're going to focus on them specifically, but this is sort of your one-stop shopping mall for all of the tasks associated with working with and managing your comments. And so very quickly, when you receive a document back that has comments in it, it's a good idea to open this panel and just start to look through what you see there. Collapse all of them, see how many pages have comments, and then you can begin to work through them page by page to see what the comments are. Not all of the comments that I'm working with are available in this document. Now, I'll tell you that this document went through a process that Acrobat allows called an email-based review, and so most of the comments that I got back are already in the document. But let's say that somebody wanted to provide comments and they weren't really working in the same method that I was. I can always ask them to export the comments and then import them. Exporting comments is a very easy process. If I want to export all of the comments on page 1, I can select page 1, and then from the Options menu here, I can choose Export Selected Comments. What will happen is that Acrobat will produce for me a file, I'll go ahead and select that, called an Acrobat FDF file, and I'm going to throw this onto the desktop. The Acrobat FDF file in this case contains all of the comments and their relative location in the document. So Acrobat will mark that those comments belong on page 1, and I'll go ahead and hit cancel because I'm not going to do this part. It will also note that the comment belongs in a particular location on the page, so that if I do this, I don't have to try and move the comments around or wonder what they were circling because they'll be in the right place. Now, I've provided for you a set of comments that I made that I want to import into this document so that you can see the other end of the stick, and that is the process of importing comments that someone else has delivered to you. Now, I want to note again before I do this, normally this isn't necessary. If you use Acrobat's tools correctly, all of the comments for a given review cycle will already be in the document. But there are those occasions where someone might not play right and you want to be able to use their comments in your workflow. I'll choose Options, Import Comments, and again in the project files, look in Part 1, in the Lesson 12 folder, there's a file called Comments from tim.fdf. That's that FDF file type that I mentioned. Choose Select. This is Acrobat saying, are you sure you want to do this because it seems like these comments have come from a different version of the file. And I did this on purpose because I want to demonstrate that even if you're working with a file that has moved through a couple of revision cycles, Acrobat's pretty smart and it will know where to put the comments in relationship to the document. The only problem, of course, is if I've changed the content dramatically in the document, the comments might not line up. They do in this case, so I'm just going to select Yes. And when that's done, you can see that, and I'll reduce the size of this just a little bit so that we can see, Acrobat has added comments, including a rectangle and a draft comment that Tim Plummer, that's me of course, has made regarding this document. Now they weren't in the document in the first place, but if I expand the size of this window again, you can see that now they have been added to the document, meaning that they have become a part of this comment workflow. It's very powerful to be able to bring comments together even after the fact. In this case, that's what I've done. I made comments. It wasn't a part of an email-based or a shared review, but I'm still able to add them to the workflow. And that can make this a very, very streamlined process, even if there are people in the workflow who don't exactly, as I said, play right.